I'd like to welcome you to our live online presentation with the Latin Trails today, where we will be discussing the Galapagos Islands and Ecuador, and inspiring you to learn how to plan a trip for your clients to these enchanted islands. And here today we have two wonderful presenters who will be sharing all of this information and who know this area probably better than anyone. We have Daniel Angel, who is the marketing manager with Latin Trails, and we have the owner of Latin Trails, Marcel Perkins, both here with us today to give you a wonderful insider's view of one of the most amazing regions of the world. Welcome, Marcel. Welcome, Daniel.
Hello, Lee. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Welcome, everyone. This is Daniel speaking.
Thanks to both of you. And with that, I'm just going to turn it right on over to you, Daniel, so that we can jump right in and learn all about this beautiful area.
Perfect. I'm just going to jump right in then. I'm sure everyone here has heard of the Galapagos Islands at least once, either in a biology class at school, a wildlife documentary on television, or through a magazine article. I can also take the risk in saying that many of you would like to visit the Galapagos Islands and come as close as possible to its wildlife and landscapes. At Latin Trails, we specialize in organizing expedition cruises to the Galapagos Islands on board small private yachts. We would like to share some of the pictures taken on board some of these trips and give you all the details of how our expeditions are organized and, of course, entice you to join us on one of our weekly departures. We will also be sharing tips on planning your Galapagos expedition and ideas for extending your visit to some great places in Ecuador and possibly places like Machu Picchu and Peru. More than 20 years ago, the Perkins family began organizing customized travel to South America for family and friends. What was a hobby, however, quickly became a passion, and today Marcel Perkins operates the specialty tour company Latin Trails, offering the same unique travel philosophy inspired by his parents to Ecuador and Peru. Focusing on the rich natural and cultural experiences of Ecuador and South America, Latin Trails offers inbound tours to the Galapagos Islands, the Andes, the Amazon, Ecuador coast, and Machu Picchu and Cusco on a business-to-business basis. Guided tours, transportation, lodging, and cruises are all aspects that can easily be handled by Latin Trails for tour operators, wholesalers, travel agents, and tourism organizations. Each individual or small group trip is customized to create intimate travel experiences, cultural immersion, and up-close look at the natural world.
We work directly with agencies through a system of competitive pricing, where we ensure that you, the ultimate seller, as we do not sell to the public directly, receive a good price for your clients and also good commissions for your agents. For this, we have many tools at your disposition, such as unbranded websites, promotional material that focuses directly on the destination, such as videos and access to intimate details about our boats. It is important that you know also that we accept FIT bookings and guarantee every departure.
Ecuador is located in South America. In terms of airplane travel, Ecuador is 4 hours from Miami, 6 hours from Houston, 6 hours from Atlanta, 8 hours from New York, 11 hours from Madrid, and 12 hours from Amsterdam. It is considered the most biodiverse country per square meter in the world. This means 1,600 species of birds, 1,000 species of fish, 680 species of reptiles and amphibians, 230 species of mammals, and more than 20,000 species of plants.
It is perhaps the most geographically interesting country on Earth. Ecuador is spread out through 4 megadiverse regions: the Andes, the Amazon rainforest, and the Pacific coast, and of course, the Galapagos Islands. It is a small country. The longest flight to mainland Ecuador takes only 40 minutes. The flight to the Galapagos Islands is 1.5 hours. Ecuador offers 365 days of sunlight per year, so we can consider it's perfect weather. It is mild all year round, and they say that we have the land of eternal spring. To give an example of climates in Ecuador, in the Andean highlands, the temperature averages from 55 to 64 degrees Fahrenheit. In the Amazon lowlands and the coast, the average temperature around year-round is 73 to 97 degrees Fahrenheit. And in the Galapagos Islands, the temperature averages 72 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit.
Now we're going to talk specifically about the Galapagos Islands. The Galapagos Islands consist of 13 main islands that are distributed throughout a very small geographical area. Nevertheless, this living natural laboratory, inspiration for Darwin's theory of evolution, is home to marine and land creatures, some found nowhere else in the world, all of which have no instinctive fear of man. Travelers exploring the islands, one of the most important natural sanctuaries on Earth, come unimaginably close with an impressive array of animal and bird life, including fur seals, albatross, iguanas, blue-footed boobies, penguins, turtles, and tortoises. Not only are animals fearless, they are actually curious. So when snorkeling, don't be surprised that a playful sea lion joins you and swims along with you. Don't be jealous of their swimming skills either. They make all of us look bad.
I'm going to talk about the Galapagos Journey, or catamaran. Travelers that seek an escape from the typical cruise will clearly identify themselves with LatinTrails' specialty Galapagos Island cruises. Aboard the unique Galapagos Journey 1, which offers many amenities and space of a larger cruise ship with the comfort and privacy only available on a small yacht. The Galapagos Journey 1 catamaran presents a true alternative within the expedition travel segment. Our catamaran was built in 2006 and was completely refurbished in 2010. The Galapagos Journey 1 is one of the most exceptional boats cruising the Galapagos Islands. This is due to the dedication in designing the most comfortable catamaran available. We were proud to say that this boat is also Smart Voyager and Brave Forest Alliance certified. An idea of what the boat has to offer, it has 8 cabins. All of them have air conditioning, private bathrooms with a full shower, hot water, and ocean view windows. All the windows on board our catamaran are above the water level. This means you can open the windows and enjoy the fresh sea breeze right in your room. The Galapagos Journey has to offer 4 cabins with twin beds, 2 of these with twin matrimonial beds, and 2 suites with matrimonial beds. The social areas include a wonderful alfresco dining area where you can enjoy romantic dinners with an amazing view and a comforting sea breeze. There's also an inside dining area in case the weather doesn't help us out. Other social areas, if you feel like getting a little sun on your vacation, or you want the best place to enjoy the gorgeous sunsets of the Galapagos Islands, is our sun deck. We have a wonderful jacuzzi there that you can jump in after snorkeling or enjoy the sun deck and a few cocktails at the outside bar.
Our shore excursions are packed full of several activities and lots of fun. A typical visit to a landing site includes a nature hike, zodiac ride, snorkeling or kayaking, and of course time to relax on a beach. Throughout these activities, your guide will bring out the best of the islands, sharing knowledge and fun facts about the island's natural history. All our guides are certified by the Galapagos National Park and have gone through intensive training programs. They have several years of experience and a strong passion for sharing their knowledge of the wildlife, biology, geology, and natural history of the islands. Your guide will be eager to share his knowledge and giving on-site briefings during your shore excursions as well as evening lectures.
I'm going to talk about the Galapagos Odyssey fleet now. The Galapagos Odyssey is a first-class boat offering very highest level of comfort on any boat its size in the Galapagos Islands, together with its sister ship, the Galapagos Grand Odyssey. The Galapagos Odyssey is a first-class yacht that was designed for small groups to offer privacy and comfort. The sense of a true expedition in the Galapagos Islands for only 16 passengers. This also helps us reduce the impact on the fragile Galapagos ecosystem by having small yachts only. If we look at the blueprints of the boat, among the amenities we have is a jacuzzi, there's an alfresco dining area, spacious sun and shade decks, and elegant interiors, and a cabin layout that allows for picture windows that can also be open and allow fresh sea breeze. What else does the Galapagos Odyssey have to offer? 2 cabins with a queen-size bed. These are the matrimonial cabins. They can be used for single occupancy or for 2 years, and then 8 cabins on the main and upper decks. 6 of these are twin and 2 are matrimonial. The social areas include a spacious lounge, a chic dining area, bar and library, and an impressive shaded terrace for alfresco dining with an outside bar, shaded terrace, a sun deck with a jacuzzi, and a shaded area with comfortable loungers, perfect for sunbathing and relaxing. The Galapagos Grand Odyssey, which is our new luxury yacht, and which we are proud to announce that started selling the 15th of February. It is a new yacht, the finest to ever sail the Galapagos waters. It was fully built in Ecuador, in Guayaquil. It's designed for the most demanding luxury travelers. It has capacity for 16 passengers, featuring 7 spacious suites and 1 master suite, all equipped with panoramic windows, private bathrooms with hot and cold water, air conditioning with an independent control for every room, a mini bar, and a flat panel screen for movies to be watched. The Galapagos Grand Odyssey also has to offer interiors that were decorated by the world-renowned designer Adriana Hoyos to give each cabin a sense of style and comfort like no other boat in the Galapagos. Our social areas include a main deck where we have the comfortable salon, the passenger lounge, there's the dining room, a bar, and a mini library. To enjoy the cool breeze and always captivating scenery of the Galapagos Islands, visitors have an alfresco dining area, an open-air bar, along with 2 jacuzzis and Balinese sunbeds. And continuing with Latin Trail's commitment to service, this new boat is complemented with a spa area with a complete massage and therapy menu. The Galapagos Grand Odyssey is the best choice for your VIP clients.
Moving on, we also offer the Galapagos Voyager, which is a tourist superior yacht offering a cozy and pleasant small group atmosphere for a maximum of 16 passengers. This, with the highest standards of safety and service, truly one of the most comfortable ways to explore the Galapagos Islands. It is very popular with our student and alumni groups. In all these boats, each of our crew members have several years of experience and share in our vision of offering the finest experience to our guests. We are prepared to temper you and offer you your creature comfort so that you can admire the survival of the fittest without having to endure it. Activities on board our boats cover a vast array of possibilities. For example, we have guided hikes, snorkeling, swimming, optional diving, wildlife observation, bird watching, and the opportunity to experience the closest and most intimate encounters with nature. Imagine walking the trails and having to avoid stepping nests of blue-footed boobies who do not even know it is a trail. And in terms of snorkeling, you will have the unique experience of seeing sea lions, sharks, turtles, penguins, marine iguanas, all flopping in the water for you to see. Furthermore, we offer kayaking, so you can relax and enjoy enjoy the dozen of marine species that are underneath the crystal clear waters where the enchanting islands rest on. Furthermore, our guided hikes will give you an amazing opportunity to get up close with nature. You can stand inches away from giant tortoises, land iguanas, and other unique animals found nowhere else on the planet. Moreover, the Galapagos Islands are a real bird watcher's dream. 29 of 58 resident bird species are endemic, such as the Darwin finches, the flyless cormorant, and the red-footed boobies, among others. After you enjoy all the exciting activities we have to offer, take a minute to feel the soft white sand and warm equatorial sun and unique fauna around you. Anything to add, Marcel?
Yes. Leave your tuxedos at home. This is an expedition. we don't want you to come around in high heels or with a suit. There's no elegant dinners. It's more of an expedition. I'll give some tips on luggage. We recommend to pack light. Less is more on a Galapagos cruise. There is an airline restriction on luggage. And if your client is on a long trip and has a lot of luggage, we can arrange for the luggage to stay in the hotel in mainland. This is in Quito or Guayaquil, the main cities of Ecuador. Airport tips. Well, once your travelers arrive at the airport in Galapagos, your passengers will leave the airplane and head to the international passenger entrance. They also have the choice of pre-booking the VIP lounge. Passengers will need to pay their entrance fee. We can also have this prepaid through Latin Trails as an option. The entrance fee is $100 for adults and $50 for children under 12. This has to be paid in cash and bills, and these must be in good condition. The next step is to have your handbag inspected to ensure that passengers are not carrying any harmful species or seeds to the islands. You cannot take seeds, fruits, or animals to the Galapagos Islands. It is one of the most strict protected areas on the planet. Upon arrival, passengers will be greeted by a representative, usually the guide, who's carrying the sign of the boat that they will be boarding. The guide and crew will assist all passengers in boarding the boat. They will carry their luggage to the boat. Passengers will be led to their assigned cabin, and their luggage will be waiting for them in the room. Passengers will, before their first lunch, they'll have some time to wash up. and they will take on their first shore excursion. After the first shore excursion, they will be back on board in the afternoon. They will have a welcome cocktail. This will take place after dinner. They will enjoy a delicious meal. We cater actually to all types of tastes. We can have vegetarian meals. We can have a low-fat diet. We can accommodate to that. We can make sure that if you let us know about any allergies, we'll make sure that none of we have a special diet for travelers. We can even accommodate to kosher meals. Upon boarding, a safety briefing and a practice drill will also take place within the first 24 hours of boarding the boat. Every evening, the naturalist guide will brief passengers on the next day's activities and offer a natural history lecture.
So, after the cruise is completed, we are confident your passengers will have enjoyed the Galapagos Islands and everything it has to offer. They will then be assisted in checking in at the airport in Baltra or San Cristobal for their flight back to mainland Ecuador. Flights arrive after Mayday into Guayaquil and at mid-afternoon in Quito. Upon arrival, passengers will be greeted by their guide and will be transferred to their hotel. Usually next morning, passengers meet their guide at the lobby for their transfer out at the airport or for their international flight or to join us in one of our trip extensions. Our recommendation is to include a few days in mainland Ecuador before or after the visit to the Galapagos Islands. We consider it best to arrive at least 2 days before your flight departs to the islands. This will ensure that no connections are missed and that the luggage arrives safely on time. By arriving into Quito or Guayaquil a few days early, it is possible to enjoy some pretty exciting pre- and post-tours and to visit other parts of Ecuador. Some of these parts include the Andes of Ecuador. Here you can traverse the Ecuadorian Andes from Quito, the capital, to Cuenca, riding the famous Devil's Nose train ride, and visit the Inca ruins at Inca and other UNESCO World Heritage Old Town sites, such as the Old Town in Quito. Along the way, you will have the opportunity to enjoy the stay at country inns and colonial hotels, all the while enjoying a comfortable and inspiring adventure. Furthermore, the Amazon rainforest of Ecuador offers activities that are spread out over this wide area that allow to explore several trails that lead through pristine terra firma forests where 150-foot kapok trees tower above and roots huge buttresses to give trees support. In this rich area, guests can paddle dugout canoes along tannin-rich black water creeks, spot exotic animals, experience night walks, and have exciting canoe trips. Furthermore, the Ecuadorian coast extends from the western slopes to the Andes to the Pacific Ocean, have amazing beaches and folkloric towns where it is possible to either relax on beaches or enjoy adventure sports such as surfing or kayaking. Also, a favorite activity among many travelers is whale watching, which is possible in the months through May through August. And from Guayaquil, you can begin the famous Ruta del Sol that takes you around the whole Ecuadorian coastline, visiting many amazing little typical coastal towns. Here's an example of a route that you could take while in mainland Ecuador. For example, you can enjoy Quito and all the historical colonial churches that mix architectural style. This is actually the first UNESCO World Heritage Site in the world, and only 30 minutes north of Quito, you can see the must-see monument of the middle of the world. From there, it is possible to visit the Cotopaxi volcano, which is one of the most important landmarks in Ecuador. It is the highest volcano, active volcano in the world, and it's picture perfect and offers a lot of activities. Only 2 hours away from Quito, you can also find natural hot springs and spa areas that are perfect to unwind and relax. From here, you can visit the Amazon which I already mentioned, and also many Indian villages and other World Heritage sites such as the Otavalo Outside Market, where you can buy traditional artifacts only present in this part of the world.
Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about booking procedures, info, and some travel tips. What should your passenger's Galapagos travel package include? Well, first of all, the cruise booking. This secures availability. Then the domestic flights. Well, the good news is that we book the domestic flights together with the cruise. Airport transfers. Pre and post hotel nights. You have to travel to the Galapagos, you have to arrive at least one night before your cruise, and you leave one night after. Of course, there is some shorter connection options that we could talk in detail at another time. You have the option of prepaying the Galapagos Park tax and the immigration card to the Galapagos. The full booking procedure. Well, you consult with us the availability for your Galapagos cruise. This can be done by Skype, by a phone call, or by email. Once we receive your space block via email, we'll add time limit to it. Usually it is 1 week. This can be extended. Once your passage is confirmed, you would confirm to us with an email, and you have 1 week to secure spaces with a deposit. Your full payment for the cruise spaces is needed at least 60 days prior to your cruise departure date. That's the usual procedure, and then after the cruise is booked, we would help you with land trip extensions. We also invite travelers to make the most of their vacation time in South America. It is possible for you to book your clients on a trip extension, including Cusco and Machu Picchu, as well as other locations within Ecuador that Daniel talked about a few minutes ago. Contacting and booking information, and why book with LatinTrails? LatinTrails has over 20 years of experience offering inbound travel services in Latin America. We specialize in Ecuador, the Galapagos Islands, and Peru. We offer custom trips. We deliver the trip that your passenger wants. We have local offices in Quito, Guayaquil, the Galapagos Islands, and in Cusco, Peru. We have a private fleet of boutique catamarans and yachts in the Galapagos Islands, the Galapagos Journey 1, the Galapagos Odyssey yachts, and the Galapagos Voyager. We offer private transportation for all our tours, escorted airport transfers with a guide in your passenger's language. We can offer guidance in English, German, Portuguese, French, Italian, and Russian languages. We have knowledgeable English-speaking sales staff to offer you quick, high-quality custom quotes. Our sales staff can help you in German, Russian, Portuguese, French, Italian, and Spanish, of course. We offer you the service of world-class guides and tour leaders, 24-hour emergency contacts, excellent hotel, flight, transportation, and cruise contacts. Price and quality hand in hand. We offer our business partners with lots of on-branded material. We have slideshows, on-branded websites, neutral brochures, videos, and more for you to show your passengers. We have access to hard-to-find boutique hotels all over Ecuador, the Galapagos Islands, and Peru. We inspect every hotel, yacht, restaurant, vehicle, and every part of our supply chain in person. Our recommendations are made based upon first-hand knowledge. We bill you in U.S. dollars. We offer all our passengers a cell phone with all emergency contacts uploaded. LatinTrails offers its services on a business-to-business basis only. In order to book your Ecuador travel package with a Galapagos cruise, it is very important that you book your Galapagos cruise first. This is the bottleneck of the whole travel program. Once the Galapagos portion of the itinerary is secured, we can build pre- and post-trip extensions around it. Our contacts are listed here. We can be contacted through our webpage, by email, by Skype, or by telephone. We will dedicate the rest of our time to answer as many questions as possible. If your questions is not answered during this webinar, please write to us at reservations@latintrails.com. So we're ready now for the questions, and just let us know what you need.
Just something else to note is that the Galapagos tour is activity-oriented, so make sure your clients can walk unassisted at least a mile or two. We are ready to take... Sorry.
Ready to take questions?
Yep.
Yes.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but thank you so much for mentioning that about how mobile people need to be, because that was a question that came in. So I just want to remind everyone how to ask a question. If you need a reminder, you open up your meeting room control panel by clicking on the orange rectangle that you see in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. once it's open, you'll see the area called Questions, and you'll just click in that area to send a message. So we had this question that came in early on from Laurie, and she wanted to know if the guided hikes, the snorkel gear, are all included in the price.
Actually, yes. The snorkeling gear, the guided excursions are all included. All the meals on board are included as well. And another good news is that we offer the kayaks on board are included as well for free. So your passenger does not have to worry about really paying for anything, after paying for the cruise. Of course, what's not included is our tips, gratuities, and alcohol drinks and other soft drinks. But we do include bottled water for all excursions. But usually, basically, it's an all-inclusive package.
Terrific. And so kayaks are available on all of the boats in your fleet, in all the fleets?
Kayaks are available on the Galapagos Journey 1, on the Galapagos Odyssey, and the Galapagos Grand Odyssey. The Galapagos Voyager does not have kayaks.
Okay, good. And then there was a question from Esther about gratuities. You mentioned that those are not included, and she wondered what the suggested guidelines are for gratuities on board the ship.
It really depends on the services the passengers have received. Well, usually it's an excellent service. Usually they leave they usually leave a good tip. It really, I would say that per person, $15 per day for the guide, and $10 per day for the crew.
Okay, that's great. Esther also typed this question in early on. If you have a family of 3, which ship would you suggest? Would this family require 2 cabins, or do you have some that will accommodate 3 people?
A family of 3 would be great on board either the Galapagos Journey, the Galapagos Odyssey, or the Grand Odyssey. It would depend on the budget because there's a different pricing for each of these boats. But we do have cabins that can accommodate 3 people, actually. On either of these 3 boats, because all the on most cabins on the Galapagos Journey, the Odyssey, and the Grand Odyssey, we have sofa beds. And if there's a larger family, I would recommend the Galapagos Grand Odyssey, which has connecting cabins.
Okay, that's great to know. And Daniel, I just wanted to talk a little bit more about the mobility that's required. Lori wrote in that she has mostly senior clients, and she wondered how suitable this trip was for them. So you said they really need to be able to walk unassisted. How fit does a person have to be to take this trip?
Well, like I mentioned, a mile or 2 is a good reference. We're proud to say that a lot of our clients are actually seniors, so they don't have to be, like, I wouldn't say in top condition, but it's more the walking unassisted, and from time to time, just they're always going to be held by the crew, but going on and off the boat.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like to add something to that. Some of the, because some of the trails are on even territory, and there's some climbs. There is some walks on lava fields, or there's some walk on easy trails. So, of course, if somebody, it cannot do all the trails, they're still going to enjoy the Galapagos because they have the opportunity to relax on the beach. They have the opportunity to do the Zodiac rides, and there is some easy trails. But if you wanted to go on all the trails, you do have to be in a good physical state. As we mentioned, 1 mile is the unassisted is kind of like the measure for that. But, and it's not really difficult hikes, but, it's out in the sun, and you should be able to walk, unassisted, and because there's nobody going to be assisting you throughout the walks. The assistance is boarding and onboarding the boat, but, when you're on the beaches or you're on the trails, you will have to walk on your own, because the guide, his main purpose there is to explain the wildlife and to make sure that the rules of the Galapagos Park, are abided to. But he will not help anybody, walking throughout the trails or anything like that. And that's where, being in a good condition is necessary.
Yeah. Okay. Good. April is wondering which islands are visited on your cruises, and how many days would each cruise last?
Okay, we offer actually several possibilities. We have 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, and a combination of these that can add up to 10, 11, 12, 13, and up to 15-day itineraries. On a 15-day itinerary, which is the longest itinerary we have, we cover all of the islands and visitor sites that are available for any traveler to the Galapagos. But on the shorter itineraries, it would really depend. I mean, there is itineraries that cover the southern part of the island, the western part, and the northern part of the islands.
Okay, terrific. I'm going to shift to some business-related questions for a moment, and then we'll come back and ask some more of the destination questions. What about brochures? Do you have any brochures available or marketing materials?
Yes, we do. We actually have most of our material is virtual material. What I mean is, website-based. We have our brochures. We have handbooks and PDFs that are on our website that can be downloaded. We've actually stopped printing material because it really is, I mean, I really think that we can deliver a really good presentation with slideshows, CDs, and since we don't market to public, we don't, mail out brochures. So mainly, it's done through our website, and it's mainly material that can be downloaded by our agents that they can include the pictures in high resolution to their website or add an on-branded video and show it to their passengers. But we've really tried to, completely stop printing anything because of we're an eco company, we're eco-conscious, and we try, to lower our impact on the environment, for one part. But we do have, for example, if we encounter you at a trade show, we will give you a CD with a nice book cover on it and a small map of the islands in Ecuador. But that really printed material, no, we really don't have that. We have PDFs that can be downloaded from our website at www.LatinTrails.com.
And I might add, they're very beautiful. I actually was looking at one myself, and they're very beautiful and perfectly suitable for you to give to your clients, I would say. Let's see, another business-related question. What is the deposit amount for the cruise, and are there any additional deposits for hotels or land extensions?
The deposit amount for the cruise is usually 2% of the cruise price, 10 to 20%. It depends on the contract that we have with the travel agent or the tour operator. Regarding the land services, we would also require a 10% deposit. This is due upon confirming the booking, actually. Once you want to confirm, you want us to, secure the space and not sell it to anybody else, we would require a deposit. You have 1 week to get that to us, or we can arrange that. We could extend it up to 2 weeks. But the final payment is due 60 days prior to the cruise departure.
Okay. And then there was a question here about what your cancellation policy is, whether deposits are refundable within a certain period of time.
Deposits are refundable. 121 or more days prior to the cruise departure date, we only charge an administrative fee. It depends on on the cruise, and then it depends on the amount of passengers booked. But it's usually $100 per passenger only, and then 120 through 61 days prior to the cruise departure, the cancellation policy is 10% of the value, and 60 days to 0 days to the cruise departure, it is 100% a cancellation fee. Mainly because we really don't sell much on a last-minute basis, and we're unable to resell those cruise spaces on a last-minute basis.
Sure, makes sense. Okay, last business question, and then we'll move back into more questions about the ships in the Galapagos. Are your rates commissionable, or are they quoted as net?
Our rates are commissionable. We have different commission tiers. We have very good commissions, actually. I would say we have a really nice commission structure. It depends on the client, depends on the volume they are offering with us, and the amount of years that they've worked with us. But we do have an attractive package for new clients, for one part, and we offer a special commission for wholesalers and a special commission for travel agents, depending on the business type.
Okay, great. All right, well, let's go back to the Galapagos then. We have a question here from Angel. So since Galapagos is an area you can visit all year round, what about Quito? Is there any season that you may want to avoid travel due to climate conditions?
Well, I would say you can visit Quito any time of the year. We really don't have what you could consider seasons. From time to time, we get a little bit more rain than usual, but it really doesn't interrupt anything in terms of visits or enjoying everything that Quito has to offer.
Okay, good. And Bill is with us, and he has two teachers who want to go to the Galapagos, but they can only travel really during the holiday season, the Christmas holiday season, mid-December through mid-January. He's wondering if you have, he's having a hard time finding travel during that period to the Galapagos. He's wondering what Latin Trails might have.
I would say we still have some availability around those dates. It's very, those are really high season dates that everybody wants to book out in advance because everybody's on vacation at that time. It is a good time to travel because you have the high spirits everywhere. You have some nice parties around Ecuador, and we do some fun things on board the boats. But the Galapagos are there all year round, so if you can't make it during the holiday season, we do have availability throughout the year. We could take that, if he emails us on the specific request, we would get back to him in private.
Okay, terrific. Okay, question here from April. When's the best time to see blue-footed boobies?
All year round, actually. The blue-footed boobies in the Galapagos all year round. What we'll do is actually, attended the webinar, we'll send out a wildlife calendar. We'll actually see which species has specific activities during each month and when they're more active. For example, blue-footed boobies or giant tortoises, the waved albatross, when they're more active, when is their mating season, when will you be seeing them, the nests will be hatching. So we'll send out a wildlife calendar to everybody that has attended the webinar.
Okay, very good. Question about diving. Are there opportunities for scuba diving? And if so, what would divers expect to find during a dive?
Well, the opportunities for scuba diving, we have opportunities as an extension to our Galapagos cruises because there is cruise boats that only have dive permits and that have only land permits. We have the land permits, but we can offer occasional diving from our yacht. This means we would hire a local dive shop in the Galapagos that is very reputable, and they would meet us at the dive site where we were with the cruise boat, and they would actually do it off the local operator or the dive operators' smaller boats. Or we could offer an extension, which would be a hotel-based in the Galapagos, and they could do several dives per day. What would you expect to see? Well, you see large pelagics. This means larger sea animals, including white-tip reef sharks, hammerhead sharks, sea lions, sea turtles. And Galapagos is famous for having good sightings of whale sharks as well.
Okay, very nice. And also, while we're talking about being in the water, Martin is wondering about, for snorkeling, whether you offer wetsuits to your guests or not.
Yeah, we do offer wetsuits. They cost $5 a day, and you can use it throughout the day. And usually our clients that are interested in this simply rent it out for the whole time. They're available for use anytime there's diving and snorkeling.
Oh, very good. April wonders if walking sticks are provided.
This could be arranged, actually. For passengers that request this in advance, we would have walking sticks on board for them.
Okay. And what about cultural connections? Are there opportunities on board these, when you're on board one of the ships, to actually meet with the locals?
We do have opportunities when we visit the small towns in the Galapagos. There's actually only 3 of them that we visit. One on Isabela Island, one on Santa Cruz Island, and one on San Cristobal Island. These small towns have souvenir shops. You can actually walk around the town. You have some time on your own, and you can interact with the local people if you want. But the best cultural connections would be in mainland Ecuador, where we do offer excursions, for example, to the Otavalo Market and the nearby villages where you can visit artisan shops as well, or you can visit the Amazon rainforest where you would be in contact with ancient tribes that have, they still have their ancestral way of life present today.
Daniel, I believe you talked about luggage restrictions, and there was a request to have you repeat the information about luggage restrictions, and wondered whether there was, she also wondered if there was a place to store excess luggage.
Well, we recommend to pack light, there is a luggage restriction on the airline, which is 20 kilos. And like we mentioned, if the client has a long trip and lots of luggage, we can arrange that with the hotel they're staying. All of the hotels we use have storage space, and so this can easily be arranged.
And Larry would like to know if a visa is required, and are there any shots needed to go to the Galapagos Islands?
For U.S. citizens, there's no visa required. Actually, for most citizens around the world, there's no visa required to visit Ecuador or the Galapagos Islands. No shots are required for the Galapagos or mainland Ecuador in general. Now, if you are visiting the Amazon or the coastal lowlands, you do not need, or it's not, legally required to have shots. But it's always good to consult your physician, in case you have any doubts with that.
Sure, of course. Okay, what about single travelers? There are several questions here about single cabins that might be available and what how your pricing might compare for singles.
We do have a great offer for singles. We will actually, same gender singles, we can pair them up to share a cabin if somebody's willing to share, so that way they don't have to pay a single supplement. This could be both in mainland Ecuador as well as in the Galapagos Islands. For single travelers that do want to have the cabin to themselves, we do have a single supplement, which is 70% above the regular cruise price.
Okay, thank you. And when we were talking about what's not included, this question came in, how much is the typical alcoholic drink on board?
It ranges around $3 to $5, depending on if it's a premium liquor or not. We do have, depending on the boat, also we have different types of liquor, but we do have we have premium wine. We do have some of the best wines. We mainly focus on wines from South America. But we do have some of the best wines from South America available, so that would actually, raise the price on it. But if you're talking about a beer or or a cocktail has our call liquor, or not a premium liquid, it would be it's going to be in a range of $3, $5, or $7 more or less.
Okay, terrific. Question from John: how does the Grand Odyssey compare to Grace yacht that we have heard so much about?
The Grace is a beautiful yacht. It has a lot of history to it. The Grand Odyssey is a yacht that is much larger, I would say. It's much larger in spaces. Average cabin size is on the Grand Odyssey is 25 square meters per cabin. This is over 200 square feet around. And the average size of the cabins on the Grace, I think it's around 20 square meters. So our cabins are much larger. It's a more modern yacht. We have more modern designs. We have a spa on board. We have 2 jacuzzis. We have windows on our boats can be open because we're all above the water level, so you don't have any cabins that you have to go under or that are next to the engine room to say. So those are the main differences.
Okay. And while we're talking about differences, Esther had this question. She says, a client would ask me what the difference is between a big ship versus a small ship in the Galapagos. She says they seem to have the perception that small ships can get into areas that the bigger ships can't, and she's wondering if you can expand on that a little bit. And she's also wondering if you have specific appointment times to get onto the island.
Well, I'll explain that. Both small ships and, smaller yachts and the ships, they go to the same visitor sites. There is no difference in terms of that. The main advantages of the smaller yacht is privacy. You have less people on board. You have a higher crew to passenger ratio, so we can give a better service. The chef or the cook is cooking for less people, so he can go into more detail. You can pay more attention to specific diets. For example, you can charter a smaller yacht so you can have it all to yourself. Although we do accept FIT bookings, you can, if you have a special request for a dinner party on board the yacht, we can arrange it for everyone immediately. When we get to the islands, there is no specific turns, but with a smaller yacht, you can actually dock inside the bay, while the larger cruise ship is always docked out in the sea. So this in terms of, having a calmer seas during the night. You're sleeping inside a lagoon versus sleeping, with the larger ship. You're sleeping out in the sea, and let's see what else. We don't have to take turns to disembark on the islands. Well, on a larger cruise ship, it is well organized. I'm not going to say it's going to take much longer, but you do have to wait in a line to disembark on the Zodiac for the first group to depart. They onboard, and then the next group. It's not going to be a long process, but it's maybe 45 minutes wait to get on the islands if you're not in the first group. Versus on the smaller yacht, you immediately are on the Zodiac and you disembark as soon as the Zodiac arrives at the beach or at the landing site.
Okay, thank you. Jeff is with us. He'd like to know if there is a low season for travel.
Well, low season in the Galapagos for travel would be maybe the month of September, mainly because most of the boats are out in dry dock. It is a colder month. Of course, it is the best time for snorkeling because you have more active marine life. But really considering a low season, I would say there is high season, and a couple high seasons which are July, August, around the Christmas season, Easter holiday. Those would be the peak seasons where you have more travelers. But in terms of wildlife, in terms of what you'll see, and in terms of weather, you have good weather all year round, and it's a round destination. So those are high seasons. You could say we do not separate our pricing for high or low season. We just take our bookings on a first come first served basis.
Okay. Speaking of pricing, Linda wondered where she would find your pricing. Is that available on your website?
Yes, it's available on LatinTrails.com. We have our rack tariff guides there, and for more specific, pricing needs, you would contact us at reservations@LatinTrails.com.
Okay. And Martin is following up on the question that he had about the wetsuits. Are there certain months that people need wetsuits more than others, certain times when the water might be a little cooler?
Yes, wetsuits are recommended mainly from mid-July through mid-December. That's when you would need them most.
Okay. We're just down to a few questions here. We have this question from April. Do you offer an excursion to the equator?
Yes, we offer excursions that can be either in small groups or something more customized, more personalized. This would be if to the where the monument is, which is kind of the picture perfect opportunity. But also there's another museum that is close by that offers the opportunity to do, for example, scientific experiments that prove the uniqueness of being in the middle of the world.
Oh, good. Claudia just sent in this question. She says some of us that have Spanish-speaking clients know that those countries also speak Spanish, and wondered if it's possible to have all the tours in Spanish.
Yes, it's possible to have all the tours in Spanish, and like we mentioned before, it could be it's not only English. It could be arranged to have the tours in German, French, or pretty much any Russian, or pretty much any other language that would be required. We can organize that.
Okay, well, I've saved this last question for you. It's always one of the more popular questions because everyone is so inspired after seeing your presentation and hearing what you have to say that they would like to experience it themselves. So they're wondering if you ever offer agent FAMs or agent rates.
Yes, we do. We do offer FAM trips for agents. We offer a discounted price, but even better than that, what we do is, if the agent puts together a group after his trip or her trip, we would actually take their trip payment as a credit towards the group payment. This is for groups, of course, of 12 passengers or more.
Okay, that's terrific. And it sounds like if someone wanted to know about agent rates, they would just need to call in to find out about that.
Yes, we would definitely do that on a case-to-case basis.
Okay, very good. All right. Well, I think that those are all of the questions that we have today. So I am going to turn it over to both of you to share any final thoughts with the group before we close.
Well, we would like to thank everybody for joining us. We hope we gave a good insight into Galapagos. We will be giving future presentations with more details on each of our boats and on the trip extensions around Ecuador and Peru. So we would just stay open-minded, and we'll be contacting you to let you know about our future presentations.
Yeah, just thank you for joining us today. Hopefully you've learned a thing or two about Galapagos and the services and products we offer. And we hope to hear from you soon so we can start working together.